Welcome back to Capitol Review. We're here talking to the Democratic candidate for Maryland Governor Wes Moore. So for voters to get to know you better, who is Wes Moore? We know you're a veteran. I also understand you're a best-selling author, a Rhodes Scholar. But let's talk about your roots. How has your childhood shaped the man that you are today?
Yeah, I think, just like all of us, I think, as you say, our roots help to determine our roots, right? Where, I only have two memories of my father. And the second memory was when he died in front of me because he didn't get the health care that he needed. And I saw how my mother, who was an immigrant to this country, how she struggled. She didn't get her first job that gave her benefits until I was 14 years old. And this is a woman who went on to earn a master's degree. So many of the issues that we're talking about, I know what it's like to struggle. And when people talk about inequitable pay between men and women, or inequitable pay between people of color and non, this isn't an academic exercise to me. I've seen this. And I think it has driven the way that I think about my life, where I decided at a young age I was going to devote the rest of my life to public service. Because I was going to devote the rest of my life for fighting for people like my mom and for fighting for people like my dad. And that's what I've tried to do, is to try to say, how do we create a society? How do we create a community that roots for each other, that believes in each other, that can fight for each other, that we can have measurements of economic growth, as we say with our campaign. This is about work, wages, and wealth. And how do you create that all people can understand and feel those benefits?
So, Wes, what do you say to voters who are concerned by your lack of political experience? What do you feel qualifies you to become Maryland's next governor?
Yeah, well, I would say that in this moment and in this time, I'm actually pretty uniquely qualified to run this office, because what the Maryland governor is and what the governor of any state is, the governor of a state is the chief executive of the state. And I, was a candidate who's actually been a chief executive for much of my life, running large, complex organizations. I ran one of the largest poverty-fighting organizations in this country, working with over 1,600 organizations, raised and allocated over $600 million. This is one of the largest and most complex organizations of its kind.
So your campaign slogan is "Leave no one behind." And right now, as most Marylanders know, there's a lot of contention between Governor Larry Hogan and the Republican nominee Dan Cox. So what do you say to moderate Republicans who feel like they don't have a candidate or party to support?
Yeah, I first learned of that slogan when I joined the Army when I was 17. I literally was not old enough to sign the paperwork when I first joined. My mother signed the paperwork for me. But I joke and say, but after my teenage years, she would sign whatever paperwork that the Army put in front of her. But they taught us something on our first days of military training. Leave no one behind. Ever. And that is not just a mantra, it's a value statement. And it's not just a value statement, it will be the new mission of the state of Maryland, where we are going to build and grow, but we're going to leave no one behind. And I think about what that means in terms of a military context, where when I was leading soldiers in Afghanistan, I led paratroopers with the 82nd Airborne Division. Do you know what question I never once asked my soldiers? What's your political party? It didn't matter. We had one job, and I had to unify my unit to go accomplish big things. And so for all Democrats, independents, and Republicans who were wondering, searching for who's their candidate, the reason that we're going all around the state, all 24 jurisdictions, urban, rural, and suburban, when people say, all you need to do is spend time in a couple jurisdictions in Maryland because of the population and you can win this race, why are you going to a lot of areas where there's not a lot of Democrats? My answer is simple, but there's a lot of Marylanders, and I plan on being their governor too.
And when we come back, we talk to the Republican candidate for governor, Dan Cox, in the studio. Keep it here. You're watching Capitol Review.